Hey everyone, we're going to kick off the next panel discussion. Hopefully you've all had your refreshments. After this is lunch as well, so not too much longer. But on this session, really looking forward to this. This is brand versus performance. It's being chaired by our VP Customer Success, Emily Bedford. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Sophia from Harvey Nicks, Makeda from Love Holidays, Dara from Go City, and Phil from M&M Direct.
Welcome everyone, thank you for joining our first brand panel of the day. So today we're going to be talking to leaders from the fashion, luxury retail and travel industries. We're going to be talking about how they balance their affiliate strategy with a constantly shifting digital and commercial environment. So just recently, for example, the Google reputation policy update and consequential impact to the voucher partners and listings has had a huge impact on our industry. From PartnerIze's perspective, our partner base is well diversified following the introduction of advanced attribution technologies 5 or so years ago, paving the way for greater revenue contribution from partners beyond last click and voucher. In fact, partners classified as voucher represent 17% of our contribution on PartnerIze, which is creating more risk insulation for our brands. Despite the headwind for partners, it's undeniable the role and value that these partner types play across the funnel and consumer journey and why they need to be compensated fairly for doing so. So today we're going to discuss and understand how the brands are responding to insulate themselves from added risk exposure, including how our panelists are working with both within the channel to achieve marketing goals, but also in partnerships with other internal departments. How affiliate activities are informing multi-channel success for PR, social and wider digital teams, and how different brands are benefiting from evolving solutions like buy now, pay later and conversion optimization partners who have continued to shine and outperform other partner types in 2024. We'll explore how API-first data-rich technologies like CLO are offering incredible insights and personalization, and hearing how our panelists are working with influencers and content partners across all parts of the funnel. Don't forget, we will have questions up on Slido as we go through. We'll make sure we save time for them at the end. So I guess I will hand over to the panel to introduce themselves.
Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, fab. Hello everyone, I'm Sophia. I'm the Affiliates and Partnerships Manager at Harvey Nicks. I've been with the brand for nearly 2.5 years. My role consists of managing all of the influencer marketing activity. We have UK and global affiliate programs. I also manage all of the online CLO activity, and I support on influencer marketing campaigns.
Hello, I'm Phil, so I'm from M&M. I've been in position for 8 years, I think, just. I'm responsible for all of our paid touch points. So that's predominantly everything we do across Google and Meta, but that also includes all of our partnerships activity as well.
Oh, hi, I'm Makeda Seaton. I'm from Love Holidays. We are the 3rd top atoll holders in the UK. Very proud of that. So I manage the UK and Ireland affiliate program.
Hi, my name's Darren. I work for Go City. I'm the affiliate lead there. What we do at Go City is we basically take attractions, we aggregate them, and we try to pass on savings to the customer all in one easy-to-use digital pass.
Thank you all. So as I touched on in the intro, the last few years have been commercially and economically challenging. It's been a volatile time for brands and consumers. Can you share a high-level overview of how that's impacted the marketing function within your business and at an organisational goals level? Have your objectives changed? What are you tasked with? Is it brand awareness or keeping your organisations at front of consumer mind? Holding share of market or voice, or is it more performance, profitability, etc.?
So from an M&M standpoint, the retail industry in the last 2 years has been just continually screwed by macroeconomic conditions, and then also just the weather. Certainly from a fashion retail perspective, the weather in the UK has been so temperamental recently. So for us, and it's cold today. So for us, The focus hasn't really changed. I think more and more businesses, certainly if you listen to anything within the kind of advertising space, a lot more retailers are focused on profits now and bottom line and having to kind of penny pinch. But for us, that hasn't really changed over the last few years. We've kind of continued the strategy that we have done that's been in place for a while now, and we're such a sort of performance-based retailer, so it's a case of keep going, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I can jump in as well. So, Love Holidays, our goals haven't changed. We want to be the top #1 travel agent in Europe. Our plans are always to grow. We always want to expand as much as possible. We want to be the place where our customers come for inspiration. When you go on holiday, you want to be inspired and get excited, but we also want you to book a holiday through us. So that's the most important thing. So be inspired, but then go ahead to book. So goals have not changed, always there to grow and be the #1 spot for all of you to come and book your holiday.
Okay. And have you seen, I guess, an impact in your sort of day-to-day roles and also how you impact your customers on their journey? Are you operating purely on a performance basis, or are you using the channel now for more upper funnel awareness as well?
I can jump in. Similar to what these guys said, our ROAS is always going to be key for us. Margin always needs to be protected. However, now we are being tasked with new challenges, new questions. As we diversify our affiliate program, we are being asked, what can we do at that upper funnel stage?
Yeah.
Whether that's working with influencers, whether that's working with content sites. A really big part of our goal is to be the authoritative voice on luxury fashion, not just sell things, but also get people there at that first stage of consideration and make sure that, when they think of that luxury bag that they wanted, they know that they saw it first on Harvey Nichols, and that's where they want to go back to in order to make that purchase. And you can't just do that by targeting the bottom of the funnel. And also now we've got so many new questions posed to us in things like trade meetings. I'm constantly being asked, right, you spent X amount of investment with a big content partner. It's less so what was the ROAS, it's more what was the reach from an impressions point of view, a clicks point of view, have we attracted any new customers as opposed to what was the existing customer rate? And also, questions now are diversified because it's not just purely ROAS when you're looking at the full funnel. Obviously, partners like content, they're more expensive, so that does pull down the ROI quite dramatically for us. However, we realise that there's a lot of value in targeting the full customer funnel because we can reach more customers that way, and we have then a higher chance of getting more customers instead of just existing customers who perhaps might have already shopped with us anyways.
Got you.
Sorry, I've composed myself now. So what I was going to say, for us, we're very commercial. So ROI is key for us and always will be because we work on really thin margins. So we always need to get customers to buy the product to get us volume and get us a healthy bottom line. So for brand awareness, yes, we need that, but it's not a big consideration because ultimately we need to get sales to survive because our margins are just so thin.
Got you. Okay. And what about, can you give me a short synopsis, anyone, on how you're using affiliates and I guess different partner types across that full funnel?
Yeah, sure, I can go. So, as I mentioned before, that inspiration piece is so important. So, our upper funnel would be our content creators, blog posts. We want to invest in that so that people know about us. So, previously, Love Holidays was very much performance marketing based. So, our brand marketing team is actually quite new. So, if you've seen Love Holidays in recent years, last 2 years, we've built up our brand team and people know more about us. We've had actually some billboards up a few months ago. It was really exciting, a rebrand launch. So we're working with our teams to ensure that people know about us and also getting the right influencers there in place, getting the right content creators there in place, while also moving down the customer journey for people to actually book. So we have a lower funnel partners. So we have our closed user groups such as Blue Light Card, if you've heard of them, Uni Days, if you've heard of them as well, where we're offering our customers X pounds off your holiday. And that's where we're really getting the hardcore sales messaging there so that they can actually go ahead and book. We have various commission models as well based on that. So upper funnel publishers, they'll have a set commission model, whereas our lower funnel publishers, where we see we have a fixed cost, for example, due to there being voucher codes, and so we have to adjust our CPA based on that.
Okay.
I suppose we're very different to that sort of model, I suppose, in that we make it really hard for people to want to partner with us. Firstly, just because we're quite antisocial, but then also from a customer perspective, we don't offer any discounts, we don't offer any incentives, there's not even the functionality to enter a promo code on the site. So trying to work with a number of partners to try and sell the business is really challenging, particularly as well as we're kind of restricted by brands, so we can't mention a number of brands in our advertising. So it's kind of a bit like this sort of TK Maxx model is you talk about the brands, but you don't actually show people the brands. So we actually use the kind of our partnerized partnerships more so as a retention tool than anything, because we don't incentivize our customers in any way on site. We can do it in such a way with certain partners, particularly through cashback, where we can incentivize those partners, those customers rather, to shop with us. So we kind of use it more as an extension of our retention. So our retention rate is in a really strong position now, and has been for the last few years. And part of that is because of the work we're doing within the affiliate space.
Okay.
As my opening speech alluded to, we work with pretty much most partner types, so pretty busy. And with that comes a very diverse, mature affiliate program. We, as I've said, see great value in upper funnel activity. Obviously, it's a bit of a balancing act because at the end of the day, I have a really strict ROI target that I need to hit at the end of the financial year. And if I spent all my money on upper funnel, I would not achieve that. So we do have to do a little bit of a balancing with your conversion partners down at the bottom of the funnel and then our upper funnel activity. One of the ways at Harvey Nichols that we try and get around that, which is a little bit more unique to us, is we work incredibly close with internal teams. So we like to actually pool budgets with, say, PR, marketing, and those sorts of teams to try and level out the costs of some of the high fixed fee placements. And then that in turn helps strengthen the ROI, and it means that we can keep investing with those partners long term, which is really obviously important for us. But it also helps those internal teams as well. It means that we've done a lot of work in training them on what affiliate tracking is. I don't know if anyone internally has tried to explain to people in your businesses what you do. But there are a lot of people that just don't even understand what an affiliate tracking link is, and how to create one, how to use one, and there are a lot of internal teams sometimes that don't actually track the performance of some of their content. So yes, when they then pool their budget with us, we upskill and we showcase, right, if we put this link in here, you'll actually be able to see how many clicks are driven, how many sales are made from this piece of activity, and it helps us overall just be more performance-based and also just spend our money in the right places, which a lot of teams internally really appreciate. A great example for that has been some of the work that we've done with some of our leading content partners around our beauty advent calendar. We only launched it second year last year, so it's still a relatively new initiative for us. But because of the affiliate space, we were able to leverage our relationships with partners such as Condé Nast, etc., so that we could have prime positions on some of the best articles for beauty advent calendars. And actually, they were some of our top sale driving pieces of content, which shows that content also can convert. You've just got to be targeting the customer at the right time with something that they really want. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that if there's any brands here, you know, reach out to your PR and marketing teams, educate them on your channel, and try and make sure that they're also using affiliate links within their activity as well, because you'll be surprised at how much your own internal PR and marketing teams are doing that you could then actually support with affiliate activity.
And do you find they've been quite open to understanding about affiliate? Have you had hard work sort of selling that in?
Initially, it was a bit of a hard sell because obviously you're creating more work for other teams.
Yeah.
You know, when we create new contracts, it means that they've got a say in there that affiliate tracking links will be used. There's always sometimes with new content partners, a lot of back and forth on training them, how to create affiliate tracking links, where to embed them, getting them signed up. But once you go through that initial bit of hard work, I would definitely say the payoff is really strong. And actually, now we utilise a lot of those stats in some of our key meetings, and it's now it's just a norm for us. So I think time consuming in the beginning, but it really ends up paying off once you see results. And also it strengthens relationships because then you can go to these content partners as well and say, we're not only going to offer you this flat fee, but we're also going to offer you commission on top. So it can be a win-win for everybody if you know how to do it right.
Okay, thank you. I guess the other area across last year and certainly the start of this year that we've seen an uptick from is buy now, pay later, and content partner type share of revenue for partnerized brands across the board. What are your guys' experiences with buy now, pay later, and I guess content within that as well, if you work with them?
Well, we work with several buy now, pay later partners. So our first entry point was with ClearPay. So we've been working with them for probably 3 years now, I think. And we were exclusive with them for a while. And then we also added in Klarna as well. So we have direct relationships with two. But it's worked really well for us. I think the concern initially was that it would increase returns rates. I think that was one of the big kind of internal things. But actually, it's been quite the opposite. Returns rates have actually fallen with buy now, pay later customers. And also the lifetime value as well, which is a big thing for us. The lifetime value of those customers is stronger as well. So, I think there was a concern it would eat into margins, but actually it's been a really good thing for us. And so we have that across all of our markets now.
Phil, how can you sell it in as it is I guess as incremental to your business, as well as it being a credit or a financial product? How can you sell that into business? Because I'm struggling with that with my business. But is it going to bring us incremental business, and is it going to pay off in the long run? So I'd love to know how you kind of fed that into business to get them to go ahead with it.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of a sort of analysis on that. So we've worked in conjunction with our finance team to kind of get to a place where we're happy with that. So I think there's a kind of a balance of obviously if you're running with tighter margins, it's harder, and we're in a similar position. So there has to be an incremental benefit to it to warrant doing it. So we've been able to kind of monitor that from a customer perspective, and then look at other payment providers and how that stacks up. And from a sort of a lifetime value perspective, it's easier to then digest into the mix. And there's also the kind of added benefit of you adding another partner at the end. You're getting referral traffic off the back of that as well. So it's kind of there's the payment element, but there's also the fact you're adding further exposure to your brand. And crucially as well, I think is you're making it easier for your customers to transact with you. I mean, for us, the checkout is such a sort of sacrosanct area of the site, and you don't want to mess about with it too much. But giving your customers options is can boost your conversion rate, and that's a massive driver for success, really.
Okay, so switching gears over to influencers, who we're definitely seeing represent the lion's share of new partner sign-ups on the platform across this year, H1. So it's an interesting shift. Our perspective is that while certain cohorts of influencers make sense working on a performance basis, you touched on it earlier, others don't. So our position is that micro and nano influencers are the best fit, with a keenness to build a relationship with your brand and a willingness to work on a conversion basis. But macro influencers are often wanting increased commercials or sponsorships, and the commissions aren't as lucrative to them. With the best practice playbook yet to be defined in the industry, we're keen to hear your experiences and discuss how different organisations are handling in different ways in terms of, I guess, teams, tools, operational setup, strategy, and how you are sort of navigating those upper funnel wins.
First of all, I would say figure out what you want to get out of influencer marketing and figure out how much you can do yourself, and do you need other tools, do you need agencies, can you do it all in-house? At Harvey Nichols, we don't do it all in-house, if I'm being honest. Influencer marketing can be one of the most time-consuming ways to market, to be honest. You know, you send a product out, sometimes DHL doesn't deliver it, it gets sent back, we're going back and forward. It can be very time consuming. There's a lot of like approving content. So we actually made the decision that we needed an agency to support. So we work with Klarna Creator Platform on a management service, and that's been a huge help, and that's helped us grow our influencer activity. That's alongside working with all of the other networks, such as like Reward Style, Shoplooks, etc. So we try and make sure that we're just working with everyone. But I think if you can't do it all in-house and you can't do it well in-house, maybe do look for an agency or somebody else that can help support. We also love to train our teams on affiliate marketing and tracking links. And actually, we have done it to a point now where in every single influencer contract that we have, even if it's arranged by PR or influencer team, they have to say that an affiliate tracking link will be used. So it means that every piece of content that goes out, we are able to track, which is really important to us, because sometimes influencer marketing can kind of seem like you run something and you don't really know how it performs sometimes. Sometimes, yes, you'll get conversions and it's super clear, but sometimes it isn't that clear, and you've kind of got to look at it with a different lens. Another thing that we do as well, which I think other brands could probably learn from, is when we send out products for influencer marketing gifting, normally that goes with like no commitment for them posting. However, we try and make sure that we tie it up to an increased commission rate for those products. So we'll say, right, you know, we just had Fragrance Week, we've sent you 10 fragrances in this PR package. All of those products will have an increased commission rate of X for however long. Please post, this is how you sign up to Klarna Creator Platform, and these are the affiliate managers to reach out to if you need support. So I think just trying to make sure that you tie in affiliate tracking as much as possible with all of your influencer activity is really important. And once you start doing that and the PR team see it, the influencer team see it, again, it just becomes the norm of how you run your activity. And it just helps make it all a little bit more performance-based. And when it's performance-based, it's easier to get more budget for it and to prove a success.
Yeah, it's exactly what we've done with our brand team. So they now sell it in. If you sign up to us as an influencer, you have to have an affiliate link or we won't work with you. And also, interestingly, we've done it internally. So for our social channels, they now use Partnerized Link to obviously, if they click through, to track it, obviously on 0% commission, but yeah, they track it now internally.
Yeah. With Love Holidays, so influencer marketing is actually quite new to the affiliate team. But we have experts in-house. We have a social media team. So whenever we are thinking of collaborating with an influencer, we head over to the social media team who sit right behind me. It's not much of a journey. And I say, hey, we have this influencer. They have X amount of followers. Here are their metrics. What are the key things I need to ask them in order for us to ensure that it's a fruitful partnership? And we use affiliates as a proof of concept because we do have the performance, we do have that tracking, it's so easy to do. And we say, okay, within a month they've done X amount of bookings, that X amount of ROI. Can we do something more with them? Because no surprise, influencers, they do want a lot of free holidays. And unfortunately, I'm not really the team who will be able to provide them the free holidays. However, if they perform well through affiliate marketing, you can say, hey, why not go through our social media brand team and see what campaigns they're working with? And we really do value our influencers. So that we have a small handful who we do catch up with on a regular basis so that they know, okay, you may not be performing the same amount as our closed user groups. However, the sessions that you're bringing in, even those quote unquote smaller amounts of bookings, we do appreciate you, because having a proper partnership with them now will definitely help us and them in the future.
It's an interesting perspective, I guess, from a brand earlier on in the influencer journey. Yeah. We're also seeing innovative partners are leaning into streaming and CTV to drive engagement across the full customer journey. Is anyone exploring this?
Yeah, we're doing a little bit in this space. So predominantly with YouTube. We've done a little bit of video on demand as well. But yeah, it's a case of just starting to feed that into our kind of wider brand presence, really. But yeah, very much in its infancy, really. But it's a space that's growing massively. So I mean, Google this week have announced further sort of expansion within like things like the Chromecast space. So yeah, it's an area to kind of get involved with, really.
Area to watch. So technology is the backbone of partner channel innovations, opening the doors to CLO, conversion partners, API enablement, and AI-driven partner types and strategies. Is anybody navigating anything in this space? And I guess what's worked, what hasn't? Has anybody got any tips that they can share?
So card-linked offers, yeah, we've done it. It was really successful for us on a sales volume-wise. But actually, the commercial wasn't good for us because, unfortunately, we're a discounted product first and foremost. We also do discounts on site, so then you might get a 5 or 10% discount code. And then, if we're doing the card-linked offer, then there's a discount, so we could be triple discounting on this. So the sales were really, really good, but commercially, we had to stop it because the ROI wasn't there for us. Again, going back to our thin margins.
My advice was something like that, because we've experienced similar things. Obviously, we have our own loyalty program as well, so there are ways to layer up your discount, is make sure you're not running the same offer consistently on CLO. Make sure that you're really pulsing that depending on the sale period that you're in. So if we're in a full price moment, we'll go higher on the offering. If we're in the middle of sale, we'll either pause or we'll make sure that we're offering the lowest offer possible, just to make sure that we're consistently protecting our margins, because I think, yeah, that's obviously really, really important. Another thing that we do is we really try and set up our campaign so it's not just going after, say, new lapsed existing customers, for instance. We would try and set it up so that we're going after a really specific target segment. So that is one of the main perks of CLO, in my opinion, is the fact that you can actually really target who you want to go after. So if you really want to grow market share, if you want to steal market share from a competitor, if you want to go after people who actually their AOV have really dropped, speak to CLO, because actually like they can really set up the campaigns in a way that you're targeting really perfect customers for you. And I think that's the way then that you can kind of get around being like, okay, we're giving away quite a high discount, but if you're giving away a slightly more discount, but it's the perfect customer that you want to go after, and you are hitting that KPI of stealing market share, then sometimes that can be considered more of a win.
I guess the data and insights that they can offer you is a lot richer.
Yes, I love data, I love insights, I love reports from partners themselves. As many partners here probably know, I harass a lot for market share data and things like that. But one of the big perks that I've noticed with CLO is the fact that you can actually see data from like everything that they can access. So it's not just people who are, say, for instance, on Reward Insight. They have access to data from the customer's entire banking. So you can get really rich insights, and I think it helps layer on another added piece of the puzzle when you're looking at an ever-evolving market.
I think for us, we kind of got involved with card linking fairly early on, and certainly worked with PartnerEyes on it. The big thing for us in this space is M&M's quite in a sort of a relatively fortunate position in that because we're a pure play retailer, everything is, from a data perspective, everything is centralized. So all of the data that we have is fed into one cloud. And so that gives us a lot to be able to then validate everything that we're doing within the marketing space. And this is the area within CLO that is tricky, because you're then working with partners. Yes, you get a huge amount of data out of a number of different banks, but it's very difficult to then tie that performance back to your sort of single point of truth. So we've kind of struggled with that in the past with card linking. There are a few partners, I think Airtime here today, so big up. There are a few partners, though, that we're able to then match back their data with our own internal data or that of PartnerEyes to be able to then properly validate what you're doing. So that's been really kind of beneficial, and yeah, we've got card linking as part of our funnel now. But I think having that single point of truth is key, really.
Okay. So moving more over to the metrics and measurement side of things, when a diversified partner mix can play such a large part of generating awareness, attention and education, as well as converting, it brings focus to attribution, tracking, measurement and compensation. What brands can struggle with is showcasing that value to their respective businesses when operating with a strictly performance lens. How do you counter that measurement challenge? Is it ROI, ROAS still the best measurement, or something else?
Yeah, for us at Love Holidays, we're very keen on performance. So ROI will always be our key measurement of success. However, we do consider obviously sessions and bookings depending on the partner. So going back to previous discussions about upper funnel publishers. So for example, influencers, if we are not doing any paid activity simply based on CPA, or content publishers, we're a bit more, quote unquote, lenient in that sense, because we understand that you may not be driving a huge amount of bookings. However, the sessions are so important because they do end up being bookings eventually. However, when we are investing quite a bit of money or any bit of investment into activity, we do have to look at ROI. We look at where it was during the test period, what it was prior to the test period, and see what was happening during that time. If it's below our target, we try to understand what happened then, what can we do better, and we decide whether we want to carry on with a test or whether we have to put a pause on that partnership.
I agree with all of that. ROI will always be our key measurement of success. I think it's dependent on the partner you're looking at, though. So we have different benchmarks. So if you're a content partner, there's a different ROI target that I want you to hit. If you're a cashback partner, the ROI is a lot higher that I want you to hit. So yeah, we try and not have like a one like look fits all, because it absolutely doesn't. Obviously, it needs to average out to a strong enough number at the end. That's really important for us. I think, though, sometimes too many brands just are so siloed at looking at their own data, and I really do believe that that only tells you one part of a story, and it doesn't, especially with all these like big things happening in the world, it doesn't always help you understand really you need the context, exactly. So I always leverage our relationships with our partners, because at the end of the day, they're partnerships, right? You want to help us hit your goals, we want to help you hit your goals, and yeah, if you've got good enough relationships, they will definitely like support you with that. So I always reach out to say, you know, like, what's our market share looking like this year compared to last year? You know, what are, you know, overall from a vertical perspective, what's luxury seeing at the moment? And I try and make sure that I utilize those insights with our own insights, because sometimes, you know, for instance, you could see, right, you know, we're down year on year. However, our market share has grown year on year with the partner. So that gives you then a slightly different story to tell in trade and those sorts of meetings. So I think if you're not already speaking to your big partners, try and make sure that you're asking them for vertical insights, and also any market share data that they can share with you, because I do think sometimes that can help you understand the story a little bit better than just your own data.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. We've got a few minutes for some questions. We can go over to the Slido. Thank you. For Love Holidays, are you tracking the incrementality from affiliate marketing? Sorry, throwing you under the bus there.
Yes, we are. There's a lot of pressure on us in terms of, because we're given X amount, sometimes we increase the amount of voucher code offerings. We do get those questions from the powers that be, as in, how incremental has this campaign actually been? Have we driven more new customers? Are we retaining more customers by running this campaign? We're actually working with our engineering team to get a few more insights to see what the long-term impact of certain campaigns have been with particular publishers. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Can't give too much about what projects we're working on, but it is an important topic at the moment.
Thank you. I guess more of a generic one here. How do you differentiate yourself from other competitors in affiliate programs?
For us, it's cookie window. So we've got 90-day cookie window, where I think a lot of brands now are 30 days, some are same session. So we offer that as a part of it. Also being the best pass, we've got the most attractions and things like that. So I think it's about how good the product is, but also the offering through the affiliates. And depending on if we really want the affiliate, we'll offer a higher CPA and even a link insertion fee if that's what's warranted. So yeah.
Okay.
You're very generous. How do we differentiate ourselves from our competitors? I like to think that we give very fair commission rates. I like to think that we invest in our partnerships. I like to think that we build very good relationships with our partners, and we really work hard on the affiliate side of things to nurture those. And we also try and make sure that we have the best tracking setup possible for our partners to ensure that not just our partners but also our customers are rewarded fairly. I know myself, being an avid cashback user, there is nothing more annoying than when your order does not track and you've got to raise a TQ. So we actually have what I would like to think is the optimal tracking setup, server to server, backed up by the pixel as a fallback. And yeah, we're trying to make sure that we stay at the forefront of that, so that I think that's a way of differentiating ourselves as well. I don't know if anyone here has tried to get server to server live, but it is not an easy task when you work for a big brand. So yeah, I think just making sure that you're trying to stay at the forefront of trends as well is really important, especially tracking.
Okay, thank you. Phil, question for you. If you use cashback for retention, how do you avoid being over-reliant on higher CPAs, i.e. people holding out for increased cashback when spending?
Great question. So the strategy around cashback is fairly weighted towards AOV. So there's a sort of a direct sort of correlation between average order and lifetime value. So we kind of, from a commission perspective, we push heavily for those who are prepared to spend more with us. But we don't, like I mentioned earlier, we don't do too many promos and things. So we very rarely, I mean, you'll see it if you look on something like Top Cashback, we don't do too many offers in that space. Because we don't want to get into a position where a customer is becoming then reliant on that promo. We've kind of weaned our customers off that a number of years ago. So, yeah, I suppose it's having a consistent message, really.
Okay, probably the last one, and probably for you, Sophia. For influencers via affiliate, who's making the decision on talent when it's an affiliate-driven initiative? Is it PR? And marketing, or is it the affiliate teams?
It is a collaboration.
Yeah.
We work very closely with all of our teams, and especially the influencer team, because as I said, I think that's the area where we can add the most value from an affiliate's perspective. So yeah, we work collaboratively. It's not a one decision. I might come to them and say, I've seen this influencer linking organically and I think we should work with them. Do you have any budget? I might have some budget. Shall we pool it together? Mm-hmm. Equally, they might come to me and they might say, we've seen this influencer. What do you think? Have you seen them appear in tracking? So it's very much a collaborative approach.
Do you ever disagree?
No. I mean, stuff like that is so subjective, isn't it? But I think if you are good at rationalising your points and you can speak with conviction and you put a good case forward, there's hardly ever, I don't think there's ever really been an instance where I put something forward and it's been blanket rejected, or the same way they've come to me with someone and I've said absolutely not. I think, we're all just very aligned at Harvey Nichols.
On the same page.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, everybody. The guys are all here for the rest of the day. There's loads of questions on here, so try and grab them later for some more. Thank you.